Okay, so what you can't see is that this is take number 4. I'm in my neighborhood. There are trucks going by. There are leaf blowers, all kinds of crazy noise. And I'm just going to go with it, and we're going to go, whatever comes out this time. I'm just going to use. But I just want to start out by saying that I miss you guys. We just had the Kahoot game with Ms. Scanlon. It was so great to see some of your faces. Boy, Kobe, it's always great to see you at Advisory, but it was great to see you there, and it was nice to see Shayla back and to see Bella and Priya, and did I say Zaria? It's just, I don't know, we miss you guys. And here in science, we're still studying atoms. It's going to get more complicated. This week we're going to be looking at the periodic table, and the periodic table is, I want you to know a little bit about it. One, because it will help you understand atoms. Two, because it's one of the most brilliant things ever done by any human at any time. A guy named Mendeleev, Dmitri Mendeleev, who lived about 150 years ago, before they even knew what an electron was, they barely, atoms were just a concept. He organized the periodic table in a way that we still use today. Today I'm going to connect it for you as something based on the structure of atoms. He did it based on the behavior of atoms, which tells us, something pretty amazing, and that is that the way atoms behave is based on their structure. And so that's why we're bothering to learn this. And ironically, Mendeleev died of the flu, if you can believe it. Okay, so what do you need to know to perform this task? What you're going to be doing is you're going to be identifying atoms based on their structure. Okay, so what do you need to know? You need to know that every atom has an atom number, and that is the number of protons, positive charges in the nucleus, which never changes. For atoms, it's also the number of electrons in the electron blur, because the number of protons and the number of electrons is the same. That's why atoms don't, that's why they have a neutral charge or no charge. So you need to know the atom number. You need to be able to tell from the sketch how many energy levels. That will be pretty obvious. Those are the sort of like, I always think of them a little bit like babushka dolls, which are from Mendeleev's native country, or like boxes where you take them apart and they just get smaller and smaller. That's like energy levels. Or little eggs. You open one and then there's a smaller one. You open the other one. Energy levels are kind of like that because they're spherical, and some atoms, really small atoms, only have one. If they only have 1 or 2 electrons, they only have 1 energy level. If they have, if they have more, then they have more energy levels. Okay, and what else do you need to know? Today we're going to talk about a new idea, and that is outie electrons. And outie electrons are the electrons in the outermost energy level. If there's only one energy level, then the electrons in that one are the outermost. And so anyhow, that's one of the things that we're going to think about today. So atom number, you could find that out by counting the number of electrons. Outie electrons, you have to count the number of electrons only in the outermost energy level, and then energy levels will be obvious in the picture. So I'm going to show you the things that you're going to be using. One is the periodic table, and they're going to be yellow for this exercise. And the other is a bunch of sketches that I made, and these sketches are, let's see, what do you need to know? First of all, these are the symbols. Like you can see this red circle. We're going to call that the red circle atom. This is going to be the red ball atom. The red baseball, box, wall, present with the things that make it look like wrapping paper. Triangle, hat. Okay, and so then we got to blue. I ran out of shapes I could think of with red. So I went to blue. Circle, ball, baseball, box, wall. Okay, and so the symbols are right up here. Hopefully you can see this. So I can't. It's too bright. I can't see what's really being shown in the camera. And you're going to have to use this information and tell me what kind of atom it is based on the information here. Now, the periodic table, one of the things that you ought to know is that these atoms in the top row only have one energy level. In the second row, they have 2 energy levels. In the third row, 3 energy levels. And then the other thing is, and I'll try to focus in here, if you can see, lithium has 2 electrons in the first energy level and then 3 in the outermost. So you're going to be looking at the energy levels, and you need to know that they go, as you move down, they go from the inner ones to the outer ones. So look at this. Lithium has 2 and then 1 outie electron. Sodium has 2 and then 8 and then 1 outie electron. 1 outie electron. So all the atoms in this column have 1 outie electron. 2 outie electrons. And then we come all the way over to boron. 3 outie electrons. 4 with carbon. So carbon has 4 outie electrons. We'll talk a lot about that next week. 5, 6, 7, 8 outie electrons. So how do you figure out what kind of atom it is? And there are 2 ways. One way, I suggested before, you can simply count the number of electrons. Right? If you count the number of electrons, that's an atom number. So if there's 6, you can then come over to the periodic table and say, okay, that's carbon because there's 6. If there are 8, that's oxygen because it's number 8. If there are 11, that's sodium because sodium is number 11. So that's a pretty easy way to do it. The way I prefer to do it is to count the number of outie electrons. So what is this? There's 6 outie electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there are 3 energy levels. So we come over here to where there are 3 energy levels, and the one with 6 is sulfur. So the red circle is sulfur. Let's do this one. The blue circle. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 outie electrons and 2 energy levels. So we come over here. These all have 8 outie electrons and 2 energy levels. That one would be neon. Okay, so 2 ways to get this done. You're looking right at the sun there, aren't you? The 2 ways to get it done are count the number of electrons and then just look for the atom number, or count the number of outie electrons and the number of energy levels and then figure it out from that. As always, I'm giving you a Word document, and that will have information. It'll summarize all the stuff I've just talked about, and then at the back end of that, it'll give you an exemplar, right? Which basically is all the answers. So I hope this is enough information. I hope this works. I hope you're doing well. And this will be due on Friday. So this is your assignment for the rest of the week. Okay, hang in there.